Hi, welcome back for another garden update. Not a whole lot has happened out here because I've had a really busy week at work and everything else in life. So I've managed to get some dirt added to this bed. Clearly not as much as I'd like. It's still maybe a quarter of the way up, third, something like that. It needs a lot of work. Over here, I've kind of rearranged the buckets, and I've planted strike beans in all of these buckets. I don't know if they're going to come up or not. When I did them last fall, they came up really quick. I got a handful of green beans, and that was it. But I mostly got them planted kind of as a cover crop. Beans should add nitrogen to the soil. The tomatoes that were in these buckets should have taken nitrogen out of the soil. So I had the seeds. If they come up, great. If they don't, oh well. If we go over here, these chard plants are continuing to grow. Not much that interesting. So over to my wife's stuff. I accidentally broke one of the trees here. That's a jackfruit tree. Oh, and it's got bugs. Let's make that bug go away. Okay, well, they'll live to live. But anyways, the jackfruit, one of them got broken when I was mowing, but we've got two left, so hopefully those will be very productive. And then over here, the calamansi's looking really good. I think this needs to be up-potted though, because it's kind of hitting the limits on the pot size there. So that'll probably go in there, not necessarily with the same dirt that's in that bucket currently. Oh, and if I go over to this side, there's a whole lot of nothing happening over here. The potatoes I planted, nothing's coming up in those buckets. It's just kind of blah. My experimental black beans have pretty much just died off. No surprise, they hadn't been getting watered for a while. Looks like two of them are still growing, so I'll throw some water in there. And the potatoes in this second bucket here, they just keep growing and I have no idea why. Okay, let's go inside. Okay, now that we're indoors, let's take a quick look at the seed starting. If you look here, the chard are getting quite a bit bigger. For what it's worth, these two lights are from Lowe's and they're really not very good. But we've got chard coming up. I want these to get a little bigger. The last time I did chard, I direct sowed outside and they got eaten by birds. So I want to let these get kind of big before they go outside. If we come down here to the peppers, you can see I've got, some of these peppers are getting pretty good size. That's definitely a pepper. This little guy there is a pepper where my finger's pointing. So I've got some peppers coming up and I've also got some weeds. Best I can tell, the things with the long skinny leaves are peppers, like this guy, and the things with round leaves, like that guy, are weeds. And that looks like another weed. Pepper, weed, weed, weed. You get the idea. But so far from my jalapeno that I just stole the seeds out of from H-E-B, I've got one pepper, looks like a second pepper there, nothing in back. And this had 3 seeds in each, so that's a really low germination rate. For my habaneros, on the other hand, I've got 1, 2, looks like 3, that might be a pepper, 4, 5, and then 6. So I'm going to be eating a lot of habaneros later. Banana peppers, I don't think any of these have germinated peppers. And then if I go down to my serranos, I think I've got 1, 2, that might be a third, 4th. So serranos germinated pretty well. Over here I put down cherry tomatoes. And I put these down in quantity because I had no idea if they were going to come up. And it looks like they have. We've got cherry tomatoes, more cherry tomatoes, even more cherry tomatoes. Those guys are all leaning towards the light. But the Home Depot light seems to work much better. Like, literally, this light from Home Depot and these lights, there's 2 lights here from Lowe's, are in theory rated for the exact same brightness. But if I turn that off, like, you can tell that bottom light is significantly brighter than that one top light, even though they're supposedly equal. Oh well. Lesson learned. And that's pretty much it for the garden this week, and now I need to rush to get to work.